TV family. Catch us live on your TV screen.
If you have just tuned in, you're still watching Ekse Live here on DSTV channel 263. And if you guys do know that we're available on social media platforms, if you guys want to catch us on Facebook, WhatsApp, so if you were a painter and you really do enjoy painting, you are going to enjoy this interview. Lauren went out to Beyond the Walls by Saipa and she went to go see his amazing artwork. And interesting enough, this guy paints on grass. So if you thought, when a painting on paper is something fantastic, how about painting on grass? Please do enjoy this interview.
My name is Lauren Joffe, and of course we're here for Ekse. We're here at the media launch of Beyond Walls. It's an awesome project, and Cape Town is just one of the legs, one of the chosen cities that was part of this project. Now I'm here with the artist that made it all happen, Sape. He's originally from France, now living in Switzerland, and he's been dragged all over the world, but what a wonderful way to live, to really just explore each country, especially when it comes to art. Sape, thank you so much for joining us here. How are you feeling?
Very good. Sunny, warm people around me, so very beautiful.
I'm glad. I can imagine you're exhausted after being dragged from one camera crew to another camera crew. But you know, it's because everybody's so excited to just find out more about this project. So before I jump into the project itself, can you tell me a bit more about your background as an artist?
As an artist, I started to paint when I was 14 by making walls and graffiti. Then I follow, I was a nurse. I studied as a nurse and I worked for several years in a hospital. And then I started to paint on grass because I lived in a little country in the east of France. And I would like to find a new way to impact the people, because I think that by making walls, you know, there is so many pollution in our city that nobody have a look on my walls, you know. So I think I have to find a new way to grab the attention of the people on my artwork. So that's why I start to paint on the grass.
So you'd say your main medium is definitely spray paint and graffiti artwork focused?
No, I would say no. I start by making graffiti and spray cans, but I found a recipe which is 100% eco-friendly, because that doesn't make sense to paint on grass and damage nature. So for 1 year I tried a lot of recipe, a lot of pigments, natural pigments, and then I found the recipe that I use now, and this is an eco-friendly paint.
So I feel like at the age of 14 it means that art has really been in your life for a very, very long time. And now you've obviously come up with various projects, you know, as an artist in your adult life. How did you come up with the Beyond Walls project?
I would say the first step was like, as I was a nurse and I loved taking care about people, I would try to make my art to taking care of the people and earth. And the first step was, okay, my art can change some line in society. I've a lot of experience, a lot of example that art can move some things in the political system of this country or in the brain of the people. So first of all, it was the first step. And then I trust that we are in a polarizing world. You know, the people are polarizing, and for me, it's an issue. You know, like, because I deeply trust that we have to find a global solution. You know, and we are in a unique world. So it's very important when we have an issue, we have to find a global solution. So from this conviction is born the Beyond Walls project, and to speak about how it's important to be together, and to symbolize that, I find the idea to create in symbolic the biggest human chain, and it's a worldwide project traveling all around the world with these symbolic things.
And I think in the time of COVID, you know, it's more important than ever. Then even though we can't really shake hands or hug one another, it's symbolic about human connection. I think it's such a amazingly unique project. Now behind us, obviously, you know, you can see all of the different locations, and you know, it's completely different spots. That's a smaller one, that's a circle that's going in its entirety. How did you choose these 9 locations?
You know, each spot that I choose is choose for the story that you would share with us. You know, like each spot is our own story, I would say. And for example, you know, I could give some example. Paris, because I'm French, and this is very symbolic to paint just in front of the Eiffel Tower. For example, Geneva, because you know there's a lot of national institution, international institution is here. For example, UN is just close from here, and I could say, for example, Istanbul, because it's between Asia and Europe. It's like very famous for the story of the city and what's happening for several thousand of years. And here, for example, in Cape Town, because of the black story of apartheid, for me, the dream of Mandela was to create a nation that is together. And for me, it's very important and very meaningful to be here because of that.
I think I can speak for many South Africans that knowing that Cape Town, or you know, even just a city in South Africa got chosen, makes us feel so privileged and honored, especially when we're looking around at all these other European cities that were selected. And you know that Cape Town's part of that 9 locations is really so special and so symbolic. But I want to go more into, you know, I know that there was so much admin that went into this. Now, how long did each project take?
I would say between the time that I think to go in one place and when I can go, it's about 1 year to find authorization, how I will finance it, and this kind of things. About 1 year for each project.
Wow, so it was 1 year per piece for that project. So that is a long, long project.
Exactly. You know, I have to think 1 year before when I will go in 1 year later. So, for example, I'm working on the place in Asia that I will visit 1 year later. Now, so it's all because I would like to make between 6 and 10 dates a year. So I have to work and think what I will do in 1 year.
So never mind all the artistic talent, there had to be a lot of planning that went into it as well. So in terms of, you know, this COVID world that we live in, how was the project impacted by COVID at all? Did it delay anything? Did it stop anything? I mean, clearly, you know, you guys completed the project, but what were the obstacles that you had to overcome?
Oh, for sure, COVID is one of the most difficult part because, you know, you plan something for 1 year and maybe 1 week before the border is closed and you can't go. So it's a nightmare for us to plan everything. So it's one of the most important part of my challenge that I have to overcome.
I'm just thinking about everything that you're saying and how incredible the planning and the talent and the teamwork that has to go into a project like this. And I want to ask, especially for any viewers at home, you know, for somebody like me, I look at this and I think it's impossible to do. Like, this takes way too much work, way too much traveling. What would you say to any aspiring, you know, children or even young adults at home that want to go into the arts and want to become artists and do projects like you?
You know, I was like a particular artist a little bit because I was a nurse and I have just the chance to live by making another job. I think at the beginning it's more easier to have a real job. I can't say that, but a job that gives you security, because as an artist you don't know exactly what will happen tomorrow. So for me it was very beautiful to have this chance. But I would say too, but maybe it's easy to say that, but it's only determination. You know, like I worked and I worked and I worked. Sometimes I worked as a nurse by night and as a painter by day. So if you want to do something, give all your chance in your side and you can do it. That's it.
So it's definitely determination and persistence just being key. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're exhausted from being dragged from one camera to another camera, and I imagine all the work that went into this, you know, you must feel so proud. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you to you. Thank you.
Sure. So that was the one and only Sape joining us here on the Sea Point Promenade in Cape Town. And of course, this is the one and only Ekse, really just inspiring artists and the arts in general, and a reminder to always stay safe with all of the COVID stuff going on. This is Lauren Joffe for Ekse on CTV.
Oh man, on this great Wednesday, I almost said Monday, on this great Wednesday, I know the Green Fingers and everyone that loves painting definitely enjoyed that interview. Thank you so much, Lauren, for holding it down for us as always, and you do it so graciously. You're watching Ekse Live because you know it is between 4 and 5. But now we're going to go to a quick ad break. We are going to be back with some more interview and some more greatness. See you very, very soon. Mwah.
CTV family. Catch us live on your TV screens.